Hello again, everyone. Today's video is going to be my rankings of the songs of the Beatles album, Rubber Soul. We are now getting into the final stretch of albums that I consider the best. We once again are going to go from the bottom to the toppermost. So without any further ado, let's get started. Starting us off in the 14th position is What Goes On, credited to Ringo Starr. Well, at least a third. But unfortunately for Ringo and me, and maybe others, this is the worst song the Beatles ever recorded and put on one of their albums, with the exception of one other song, which I don't consider it to be a song. And we'll find that out later. What Goes On is clunky, messy, disorganized. The guitar picking is odd to me. The lyrics are basic. It was obviously designed to give Ringo a song on the album. And I pick on this song probably more than maybe others would because it is on an excellent album. At the dreaded number 13 is Run for Your Life. From an early age, I always had a problem with this song, with the lyrics, because I really couldn't figure out what was going on. But whatever it was, it didn't sound good. John later admitted that he didn't like the song, and he only did it just for filler. He needed another song for the album. And it kind of sounds like that. It's kind of a cruel song. It's got a decent sound to it, so maybe with different lyrics, it could have been a lot better. At number 12 is Michelle. Michelle is a song that I've struggled with over the years. Sometimes I like it. A lot of times I don't. It's a good little song. It's got good lyrics. Sounds good. It's just not my cup of tea, I guess you could say. But there is an interesting backstory to it that I've heard Paul tell before. So if you haven't heard it, take the advice of Jack Torrance and go check it out. Coming in at number 11 is The Word. This is obviously a precursor to All You Need Is Love. At least I feel that way. I'm sure there's other people that do. I don't know if they have, but I'm sure they have. It's got the same sentiment, got the same feel to it. Great lead vocal from John. Wonderful harmonies from Paul and George. It's got a great little piano in it, or piano, depends on where you're from. And George Martin plays the harmonium. And if you don't know what the harmonium is, you're not alone. At number 10 is Wait Till I Come Back. It's got a great shared lead vocal from John and Paul. Interesting and unique guitar work from Guitar George. He knows all the chords. And of course, it has got a stellar performance on the old tambourine by Ringo. At number 9 is You Won't See Me. Yes, I Will. At number 9. It's a really good pop song. Great lead vocal from Paul. Great harmony vocals. It's got that part in there, though, that about 2/3 of the way through that slows down a bit. Not sure why, but it doesn't take away from it. It's still a really good song, and some people may consider this to be album filler. If it is album filler, it's pretty good filler. Coming in at number 8 is Drive My Car. Another great rocker. Maybe not as high on the list as some people would put it, but it's in a respectable spot. Paul just lets loose on those lead vocals. More great guitar work from George. And from all accounts, John plays the tambourine. At lucky number 7 is Girl. Um, I really used to like this song a lot more than I do now. Thus, it's at number 7, and say not at like number 3. Over time, it's kind of worn on me, but I really do enjoy it still. Um, I've always thought of this as a better version of Michelle. It's got really interesting lyrics, and it's very appealing musically. Grabbing that 6 spot is I'm Looking Through You. Um, it's got a very familiar acoustic guitar beginning that shows up years later. A song by a supergroup. Hmm, wonder who that could be. Hmm. It's got great lyrics. It's got some of the greatest, definitely some of the best lyrics by Paul as a Beatle. Um, the same person he's talking to, he's just not interested in her anymore. It's got a really good lead vocal from Paul. Once again, fantastic effort musically. And George plays the tambourine. In at number 5 is Think for Yourself. This is the first of 2 George songs on the list, and I've always liked this song, and I think this is another one of George's, almost a John, George's early songs that gets picked apart, and I don't think it should be. It's a really good song. It's got a great lead vocal from George. Got, once again, really strong backing harmony vocals from Paul and John. Paul's more prominent. Of course, the thing I like the most on the song is Paul's Rickenbacker. I think it's probably played through a fuzz box, giving you that fuzz bass sound, Rickenbacker bass. Um, that may be it may be one of the best, if not the best, bass line on a Beatles song played by Paul. Maybe could be a couple others that are better than that later on, but it's what makes this track really special. At number 4 is If I Needed Someone, the second of the 2 Beatles songs done by George. Um, and I think it's one of George's best songs from his Beatles years. It was always my favorite song when I was young. It was always the one I wanted to play. And it still holds up to this day. It's got the early George distinctive guitar work that may now be more associated with the Byrds. But to me, in my opinion, it's George. It's just a really wonderful George song. Taking the 3rd position is Nowhere Man. This has been an early favorite of mine, as when I say early, I mean early in age. I've held this one kind of close. It's got really sharp and strong lyrics. Great lead guitar work from George. John said that it took him about 5 hours to write the song once it popped into his head. And during the recording, the lyrics weren't changed, which was a rarity. And then there were 2. And getting that 2nd spot is Norwegian Wood, This Bird Has Flown. According to biographer Ray Coleman, he said that the song was written about a prominent journalist, whom or whoever it's about, it's pure magic. Whether it's John's smooth and calming vocals, George's masterful, and I mean it, sitar work, or just the pure lyrical poetry. Norwegian Wood is one of the best Beatles songs. and it's at number 2 on my list. And of course, number 1 is In My Life, one of the best Beatles songs ever recorded. It's got poignant lyrics, it's got beautiful music, it's got a great sped up piano played by George Martin. Even their original normal version is really good. I can't find anything wrong with this song. It's just pure genius. I even like it all the way down to the wavering little note at the end. It's just a perfect composition. And that's what makes In My Life the number 1 song on Rubber Soul. Thank you for watching the video all the way through. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you have any comments about this video, I'd love to hear them. And be on the lookout for my next ranking video of the Beatles, which will be Revolver. So until next time, don't forget to check out my other videos, including all my previous rankings. So, until next time, at number 10 is Wait! Oops.